is powerful. And for the widow of Senator Pinckney and his 2 young daughters, that would be adding insult to injury. And I will not be part of it. Espoused Representative Jenny Horn, who took to the podium, delivered an impassioned speech. Her speech moved all in attendance and clearly illustrated the true significance of power. Hatred. Hatred was the catalyst that led 9 people to their deaths in South Carolina on June 17, 2015. The 21-year-old Caucasian shooter constructed a racially motivated plan. This massacre was a clear illustration of the manner in which control can be used for purely heinous purposes. This killer put his plan in place months prior to the actual executions. One wonders how a person can have such control when the goal is so evil in scope. Innocent victims. His ultimate goal was to start a race war. There were 9 victims who were massacred, and they were members of the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in downtown Charleston, South Carolina. Not only did this coward murder 9 parishioners, he had the gall to kill his victims in a historically black church. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Events unfolded as such. The killer entered the church, actually sat and spoke, and broke bread with the 9 victims. Then he proceeded to murder them. He was quoted as saying, "They were so nice to me." Evidently, their hospitality meant very little, as they lost their lives anyway. The ability to assassinate anyone in a church is unfathomable, but to slay people after they have welcomed you into a sacred place takes a level of acrimony that is shocking. In the book, The Art of War, Sun Tzu believed that the moral strength and intellectual faculty of man were decisive in war. If these were properly applied, war could be waged with certain success. Sun Tzu believed war was strategic, and if one made such a decision, the plan must be designed to make winning a certainty. Unfortunately, this assassin applied many of the principles encapsulated in The Art of War, and as predicted, triumph resulted. The Southern Poverty Law Center states that more than 250,000 Americans over the age of 12 are victimized every year by hate criminals. A new government study puts the number some 50,000 higher than the best earlier analyses. The country was quite shocked by this event. Were people really shocked? After all, guns are quite revered in the USA. There are more murders in this country than in any other developed nation. Control, when used in the wrong context, comes at a price, as is quite evident in this instance. Control, like power, can be dangerous in the wrong hands. The families of the slain were quite controlled in their response of forgiveness. The control these victims' families exhibited and their ability to be faithful in such dire conditions was indeed dynamic. Sun Tzu stated, "The greatest victory is that which requires no battle." And in that moment, these family members transcended the hatred which was unleashed upon them by forgiving the assassin of their loved ones. Thankfully, there is a favorable ending to this strategy. One of the symbols of hatred the shooter was pictured with on his Facebook page was the Confederate flag. This flag has symbolized hatred for centuries. On July 9th, after many contentious debates, the South Carolina House passed a bill that mandated the removal of the Confederate battle flag and flagpole from the Capitol grounds. I cannot believe that we do not have the heart in this body to do something meaningful, such as take a symbol of hate off these grounds on Friday. The vote to remove the flag came at 1 a.m. on the morning of July 9, 2015. The decision was sobering. Now that was constructive use of power. Thank you.